times in his rhymes, cause his memories. We running through New York, so you never leave. Strap my lungs, then we puffin' through with that right. But giving them some stories, they come back like manic this, manic that, while you crawling to me. The hell we
Welcome back to the channel. So today we're just going to be doing the Mini Cooper S test drive. Now I know a lot of you have been keen to watch this because you wanted to see the outcome of the car after everything's been done, and I know a lot of you wanted to see the power it makes and the supercharger wind after putting a 90% pulley on. So today we're going to go out in the Mini Cooper and I'm going to show you how it drives now since I've changed everything on this car, and you guys are probably going to like it because the car is completely transformed. It's completely changed from what it was before. It's a completely different car and the drive is absolutely amazing. So I'm going to show you why I like this car and why I'm choosing to drive this over my BM. It's just such a fun car. I just can't get enough of it. Every day I think I'm going to stop driving it and go back to my BM, and I end up missing it just because of the way it handles and the way it drives. Now my BM, don't get me wrong, I do love my E60, but this car is just something else on the handling. And you know, coming from saloon cars to another hatchback and the way they just handle and the way it just picks up power is just incredible. So we're going to go out and I'm going to show you how it drives and how quick it just picks up with the 90% pulley, and you know, just go over all the things that obviously I've done to it, and you guys can hear it run and how well it just drives now. This is the car, guys, we're going to be going out in. So obviously, as you guys know, I'm going to be strapping you to my head so you can hear how it runs, and we're going to get rolling with this car and we're going to show you how nice and how quick this car goes. So let's get in and we're going to be off and rolling. Okay guys, test drive time. So as you can see straight away, you know, the car, it just handles like anything. Like, I don't even know how to put it. You know, when you come from driving a saloon car to driving a hatchback yet again, it's just completely different. The handling on these is surprising, you know, it just surprises you. And the power these things make. So as you see now, because obviously I've got the induction kit on, you guys can't hear, but now I'm going to press down, you'll hear. And as you see right there, guys, how quick the power comes in on this car. Just from pressing the supercharger in, you see how quick the power comes in, and the handling on these is actually immense, literally immense. Like, I don't think there's many cars that can actually handle going around the corners at 80 miles an hour, you know, and how quick this car comes up to speed. But bear in mind, I'm not running this to red line, I'm just running this normally, and the power just comes straight in, like literally, it's unbelievable. As you guys will see, it just literally belts. The car just literally takes off. And obviously, you know, I'm very happy with the work that's come out on this car. Everyone wanted to see how it would drive after, and the car just drives absolutely incredible now. When I bought the car drove like absolute crap. You could feel it was losing power. It was smelling of oil being burnt. When I first purchased the car, it was leaking oil. I think it was coming from the oil cooler and the valve cover together. But there's no more smells of that. Like I said, I've took this on a 700-mile drive. I couldn't have been happier. No overheating. The car just kept pulling and pulling. You know, I was extremely happy with it. So it doesn't make sense for me to actually go and get rid of them. Now, as you'll see, like I said, you know, the speed just comes up immense. The intercooler really changes the game. And obviously, if you're going to do a 90% pulley, which a lot of people don't because of that reason, you will have to upgrade the intercooler. And there is no lag, as many people would think, you know, with that pulley. It just literally blats, as you'll see here. And many of you are probably going to watch George's video about when I took him out in a test drive of it. And like I say, you know, it is the way it drives. It absolutely handles brilliantly, as you see there. Going around the corners, it just takes it around the corners like nobody's business. As you see right here, we just fly around the corners with no care in the world. The car just literally drives amazing. Amazing car to drive compared to the BM. You know, you have to be careful though, the power steering pump, as you guys know, the R53 when it first released, was plagued in an issue with the power steering pump. A lot of people, it was a big complaint with BMW and Mini to put both of them together to repair it. It was a common problem. Obviously, also the gearbox the 5-speed gearbox was problematic, it would go out. I know the clutch has been changed just on this because the clutch was literally brand new, so that's another bonus. You know, I've got it in one of probably the most sought after colors as well, which is white. Many people love these cars in white. It was a popular color when the Mini Cooper S first come out. It's just an amazing car, and as you see the way it just handles, you know, no BM is going to give you that kind of joy going around these kind of roads. You know, it's such a light car, but you got to think the amount of power it makes with the supercharger. And as I said, me personally, a lot of people prefer turbo. I prefer a supercharger. It's more reliable, more upgradable. A turbo is run by exhaust gases, where a supercharger is constantly running. It's made by the moment you press your foot down all the way to the top end, you'll get the full power. With a turbo, you don't. You only get it between a certain amount of RPM, unless you get it remapped to run it throughout the whole RPM. But with this, it's not. It comes in the whole way throughout the whole RPM. You don't get that on many cars. You know, as you see here, it just absolutely just flies and takes off. There's not many cars I could say do that. You know, the handling on these is absolutely brilliant, absolutely brilliant. When Rover and Chrysler designed this car, like I say, the engine and Rover designing the body, it was just one of the best things they had ever done. You know, one of the best, absolute best things. The car is just absolutely incredible. And like I say, guys, I mean, if you don't own one, you should go and own one. Anyone who owns a BM should own one of these as their fun car, because the BMW will not give you the thrill as what this R53 does. The R53 gives you a thrill like no other because of the supercharger, because of the way it runs, because of the way it drives, just the handling on it. I mean, if you feel like you're missing that, you can pick these up very cheap if you're able to, confident and able to work on these cars yourself. These can end up being great cars and being great track weapons as well. As many of you know, I'm in the process of trying to get the injectors upgraded for the JCW and the rest of it upgraded, remapped. We're trying to get it remapped as well. But like I say, it's a car that, like I say, I have no reason to sell, and I wouldn't, because when you feel like you want that fun car and you want to get that, you know, boost factor, this is the car for it. I mean, everyone I've brung in, it sticks them to their seats like anything. And as you see, it just literally just flies. Round the corners is no problem at all. You know, there's not many cars that can handle it going around the corners at certain speed, but this Mini can literally still terrorize a lot of the newer cars today. There's not many cars that can do that. And don't get me wrong, guys, as I said, it doesn't mean I don't like the BM. Trust me, I love the BMWs, and I love my BM, I love my E60. But like I say, they all drive differently. This is more like a toy car. This handles absolutely different to a BM. You know, you can actually have fun with this car. When you get bored in driving your BM and it's not giving you the thrill factor, you can come into this. I know some people really do own both a Mini and a BM, but if you don't, I would advise you go and do that, because it's just probably one of the best outcomes you ever live. If you've never drove an R53 or a Mini, you have to drive these Cooper S's. Now, the R53 is not going to be the same as the R56. Everyone says that, everyone knows that. The R53 is probably one of the best ones with the best handling and probably the best car still to name. You know, people always having this debate about the R56 is better, the R53 is better, but personally, I've drove the R56 myself and I didn't like it. But then, as I said, I'm not a turbo fan. I don't like turbocharged cars, never have. I've always, when I've owned Mercedes as well, I've always used to like the supercharged. That's why I used to like Mercedes, because of their superchargers. I used to like their supercharged cars. I'm more of a supercharged person than more of a turbo person, and that's purely because a supercharger is a lot more easier serviceable, more upgradable. Just a pulley alone will, you know, give you a lot more power than what a turbo will. A turbo, you need to upgrade the whole turbo. But with just a pulley, small little mods like that can really change this car, which it has. You know, and a lot of people ain't aware of that. This car has really, really changed. And like I say, any of you soon George's test drive will be aware of that. So guys, as you're gonna see here now, we're just gonna pick up the whole speed. And as you see, it does not hold back, this car. Now, you gotta remember as well, guys, I am an experienced owner of owning cars, and I'm not like one of them who redline it and start ragging the crap out of it when it's not even fully warmed up. As you guys see, this car is warmed up fully. to temperature before I start abusing the supercharger. Obviously, when I get back, I always let it cool down before I turn it off. You know, people will say, why do you do that? It's not a turbo, but I do, because you got to remember it's oil inside it. You've got to let the oil cool down before you shut it off. Otherwise, the cooling fan on these, they like to come on, it scares a lot of people. A lot of people ain't aware of that, but the cooling fan can scare a lot of people on this, because it can run after you shut off the car and keep running to cool the car down, so be aware of that. The car just drives absolutely incredibly quick now, and it's got its power there. It's just everything you would ever want from a car. And like I say, guys, you're gonna see now 0 to 60. You just see how quick that comes up, and that's going uphill as well, guys. You know, it comes up immensely quick. The handling on this car is just literally beautiful. Going around the twisties and the country roads, it just throws itself round. No regrets, no nothing. It just throws itself around the corners, even at high speed. And you can hear that supercharger whine coming through the cabin. And this is what makes these cars fun to drive. Just that supercharger whine. When you guys hear that, it just makes you want to take this car out more and more. You know, it's something that no other car is going to give you. BMW don't have supercharger, as many of you know. They either use a turbo. Turbo's nice, but it can't be a supercharger. You just can't beat that sound, guys. So that's it, guys. We'll close this video out, and I hope you've enjoyed the test drive of the Mini. And I know a lot of you have been dying to see this, so now you've got to see how well it drives. It brakes perfectly since I've changed the brakes. I will advise you guys, I've put on Brembo brakes on this, so the stopping is literally instant. But the car is just literally incredible. The way it drives, the way it handles, like I say, you just can't fault it. You can't fault it for what it is, for what it does, guys. So thank you very much for watching, guys, and we'll close this video out in a sec. And I hope you've enjoyed this video. So guys, I hope you've enjoyed the video of the test drive on the Mini Cooper S. As you can see now, I'm just sitting here letting the car cool down, because obviously we need to let it cool down from the supercharger. This is what you're meant to do with these cars after giving them a long run like that and abuse with the supercharger. I let the car just completely cool down. So if you have enjoyed this video, guys, please give it a thumbs up. This is the BMW Mini Doctor here. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.